So here are the three components of the palm loop measuring tool. There are two fences. One fence has a slot in the bottom, and the other fence has a long rail. The rail goes into the slot, and as you slide the two pieces together, you should feel some resistance. It shouldn't just slide easily on and off. And the reason you want to feel some resistance is you want to be able to set it at a certain position and not worry about the end slipping off. If the two fences don't slide together at all, then you can try taking a small file and filing out this opening a little bit. If they slide together too well, then what you can do is take a small file and just run it along the sides of this rail, and it'll create enough of a little rough area that will tend to catch again on the other fence. So that's parts 1 and 2. Part 3 is this crossbar, and it should freely slide into each one of these holes in the fence. So there are several holes in each of the fence ends, but it should freely slide into there and just rest in place because of this little tab. The other thing you want to have on hand is a metric ruler. I'll show you the metric side. Now, this is going to look a little bit awkward because I'm trying to do this one-handed, but let's say you wanted to measure for a palm loop for my hand here, my left hand. And what I don't want to do is kind of crush this hand and make it lie flat, because then the top part of the hand doesn't rise up as much as it naturally would. We want to allow for that rise and that little cup in the bottom of the hand. Otherwise, long use of the palm loop is going to be very uncomfortable. And even getting the palm loop on and off could be very uncomfortable. So what we're going to do is sometimes it's just easiest to kind of raise the hand up, put it sideways, and then put the palm loop measuring tool on both sides and kind of squeeze it together until the outside edges are, or till the fences are just touching the outside edges of the palm, as it is right here. At the same time, you can take the crossbar and slide it into one of the slots. So you can see in the case of my hand, right there, that slid in right there, I have the crossbar actually touching the top of my hand when it's in this slot. And we really don't want the palm loop to be sitting that close on the hand, because then it can be a little hard getting it off and on, and this part of the palm loop up here may wear on the user's skin. But we're in a pretty good position now to take some measurements. But first I'll take the measurement for the height of the palm loop. It's going to be this first hole here is at 15 millimeters. This is 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 35, and I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Actually, there is a nice gap there. So this is 40. I might be tempted to actually start with a palm loop height of 40 millimeters. And then we can measure the width of it here. So you can either measure it from let me see here. You can either measure it from outside to outside and then subtract 10 millimeters, or you can just measure the inside here, one side to the other, and then have the direct measurement. Each of these fences is 5 millimeters wide, so if it's easiest to just measure it down here, maybe because of the position you have the person's hand in at the time. And what I'm reading down here is about 103 millimeters, so it would be about 93 millimeters as a place to start for the hand loop length. The last thing to note is you can make the palm loop, you can make the palm loop wider or thinner. The wider it is, the more stable it'll be on the individual's hand, but you don't want to make it so wide that it's pinching in here in the webbing of the thumb or extending over the knuckles. So you're looking for a measurement of width somewhere in this area of, I'm going to say I wouldn't want to go any wider than 15 millimeters if I was making one for my left hand. But there's a freedom to experiment a bit because printing the palm loops aren't that expensive. So try several and see which ones fit the best.